Yo, what is up, guys? So, normally I ignore a lot of comments because, like, some of them are just so milk toast that just want to argue that I just don't put my energy towards it in the comments. One, I got no real reason to. So that's why I ignore like 99% of them, because every now and again I will come across a comment that's genuine and ask a genuine question that I want to make a video off of, because someone asked me, like, do you think Jalin Turner could fraud check Paddy Pimblett? Like, how would I see that fight going? Because, obviously Paddy Pimblett is calling out Renato Moicano right now, and Renato Moicano just finished Jalin Turner in the second round of their fight. So, I don't know. It really depends. Now, I want to first see how Paddy Pimblett versus Renato Moicano goes. Now, how do I predict that fight going? Well, obviously, I think Paddy could strike a little bit better. Obviously, we're going to go back to that Tony Ferguson fight, right? Tony, I know he's past his prime, but if you don't think that Paddy exceeded our expectations against Tony, then like I said, man, you're fooling yourself. I was actually surprised that Michael Chiesa was able to put away Tony Ferguson as fast as possible. So, I'm going to contradict myself a little bit here. Tony Ferguson might have just been regressing a little bit more. But also, Paddy put away Bobby so fast in a way that none of us thought. Now, everyone thought, like, when Paddy the Baddy fought Bobby Green, when Paddy's career first happened, and obviously he had his chin out there a little bit more, and he was fighting Jordan Levitt, where, like, yeah, he was given a lot of resistance in the first round before he got that rear naked choke that we figured it was only a matter of time before Paddy Pimblett met his match in the octagon. We see Paddy still, like, very well improved. So obviously the striking is very questionable and the jiu-jitsu is questionable with Renato. And that would be a very exciting matchup to watch, because it's going to go to the ground, and it's probably going to be like a no-gi chess match where these fighters are going to go off on each other, and it's going to be a match, just of like wits, I feel like. So even though that's a close fight, I would like to see Paddy fight Jalin just to see, because it might be a rock, paper, scissors scenario, just like TJ Dillashaw, Dominic Cruz, and Cody Garbrandt, except at lightweight, because you're going to have Renato, Jalin, and Paddy, right? Because let's say, Paddy beats Renato. It doesn't mean Jalin can't beat Paddy. I just think it's highly unlikely just based off of their resumes, because they both did finish Bobby Green in the first round. And that's the one thing. Look at that fight with Jalin versus Green. Jalin is super tall for 155, so that reach gives a lot of people problems in the striking realm. And even then, I really feel like Jalin Turner hasn't even reached his peak yet, which means he could do better than he's been already doing, because he does have a lot of shiny moments in the UFC that make me think, okay, if he were to stuff the takedowns of Paddy Pimblett and keep the fight on the feet, he's ready to piece him up. He's ready to use that reach advantage and put on some power shots that might actually give Paddy a lot of problems. So I would have to say, if that fight were to happen, if Paddy wins, it's by submission. If Jalin Turner wins, it would definitely be by a knockout. And if it goes the distance, you're probably going to see some judge bias, because obviously, if you look at that Jared Gordon fight, highly questionable outcome. Obviously, the judges should have scored a lot more of it for Jared Gordon. However, they didn't, because obviously, let's be real, if you think that there's any sort of corruption or politics in the UFC, you're probably right. I'm going to be real. Just as a UFC fan, there's questionable decisions of what I thought was robberies. So, yeah, no, everyone who says Jared Gordon got robbed, you have a lot of reason to think that. Just like the people who thought Max Sterling versus Volkanovski 2, that was a questionable decision, right? Sean O'Malley versus Piotr Yan, even though I give Sean O'Malley benefit of the doubt, I did see Yan have so many high-level moments in that fight. I was questioning why they went with Sean O'Malley. But same thing. Like, if it goes the distance, even if Jalin Turner is edging by a little bit, that's not going to be enough to get the judges to not want to push Paddy even more. Because I know Paddy's a superstar. That's just the reality of it is, and we all know that it's not fair. But, I think he has a lot of... I think that sometimes that's a necessary evil, though, because ever since Conor hasn't come back, we need more superstars, and Paddy the Baddy fits that. So, honestly, that's my prediction. There's two ways for Paddy to win, and then there'd be one way for Jalin Turner to win, and that would be by knockout. And the thing is, although, Jalin Turner has fallen short in his last fight, I still think it's doable, but it's not 100%. Because I think a lot of people want to ask that question because they love to hate Paddy the Baddy, and Paddy is a flawed character, but don't let the flaws keep you from seeing credit where credit's due, because both of these fighters have exceeded their expectations. But I am looking forward to seeing Paddy versus Renato, because that's a fight that I really want to – it's too close to predict for me. The skill sets are so similar that I do want to see how that goes out. And then I might make a follow-up video, like let's say if Renato pulls an upset, because I do have Paddy being a heavy favorite right now. We'll see. But that's what I got to say. Peace out. We'll see where the future of the division goes. But up next, I want to see when they announce that fight. It's probably going to happen by the end of the year. And then I'll talk more about Jalin Turner and how he fits in the mix, because I do know that he probably wants to get back in, have a comeback fight, and hopefully he makes a big enough statement to the point where I could take that whole thing back and say, I feel like Jalin Turner is going to beat Paddy Pimblett. Because I want to say that. But I want to say it because I believe it, not because my audience is pressuring me to do it. Peace out.